Elon Musk and SpaceX's open letter gets Sean Duffy fired. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again being here. We're going to get right into this today. Yesterday was some breaking news, and what was interesting is I did a video that was entitled Elon Musk Went Rogue and Flipped NASA the Space Finger. And I talked about, let's say I talked not nicely about Sean Duffy, the interim, let's say, admin over there at NASA. I said, he should not be there. It's just crazy. And what ended up happening was Elon Musk and SpaceX lost the exclusivity to a contract that they won in 2021. And it was for billions of dollars. I think it was like $2.9 billion or something. But the main point here was Elon Musk and SpaceX put together this open letter. They stated not just what they were going to do, they gave them receipts, basically 49 receipts to what they actually did, which was just unbelievable in my personal opinion, because it's just such a slap in the face for not only NASA, but their administrator, obviously, Sean Duffy. And that slap was obviously heard around the world. Okay, it was a massive slap. In yesterday's video, I said something like, you really shouldn't pee in Elon Musk's bowl of morning cereal. You really shouldn't. You should kind of have some consideration and say, this is the only guy that's going to get us to the moon. Should we really do this? Should we really open up the contract to other people when we know the other people, the other corporations, the other companies cannot do it? And I really do believe it was just simply a bad step on the part of Sean Duffy. And you can't really blame the guy because he is in the swamp, so to speak. He is in deep bureaucratic nonsense. He's a government guy, all right? He's a government guy. So what ended up happening was the president of the United States, Donald Trump, said, you know what? You're fired. You're out. All right? You're out. And we all saw this happening. You can't do this kind of thing and not expect some type of repercussions for doing it. But either which way, he was fired yesterday. And the past nominee, Jared Isaacman, ended up being renominated for the position. So obviously he has to go through the Senate. He has to be confirmed as being, yes, this is the guy that we want, but he's basically got the job for the most part. So I was reading a few articles. My God, there was a lot of articles about this because everyone is talking about it. Because this is something that it was just, if you couldn't see this coming, I don't know, you're blind. If anyone in the space community looked at everything that Sean Duffy did and said, this is like old SLS stuff, Orion stuff. Like, what are you doing? This is all old. We need to be a superpower. We need to be a leader in space. We can't do what we did in the past. We need to change things up. He wasn't the guy for that, obviously. So anyways, I want to go through this article, and then I want to give you, of course, some more of my commentary. And then lastly, more importantly, I want to hear from you down below. What do you think about all this? Do you think that this is going to transform NASA? And if so, how? Once again, down below. If you don't want to put something down there, just put an emoji. That's fine. At least I know that you were watching the video. That's very helpful. Anyways, if you enjoyed the content, as I always say, throw the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're not, if you are, thank you. I appreciate that. Click the notification button here so when I go live and when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. And if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thanks button down here. Click on that. Give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to. The video is still free. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And if you want more SpaceX Starlink specific content, I have about 600 videos for you. It's a lot, I know. I'll put a link here. Don't click on it yet. When you're done watching the video, go back here, click there, and you'll see a whole bunch of helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, what to buy, what not to buy, and of course the why behind all of it, because this channel has always been and always will be about the why and not just the how. And finally, if you haven't taken a look at any of my merch, check it out. Go to JCristina.com/shop. Once again, JCristina.com/shop. Check it out. If there's something there you like, please pick it up. Help support me and my family. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into this article. A sudden reversal sends shockwaves through the space community. In a dramatic pivot, President Donald J. Trump on November 4th announced his renomination of billionaire astronaut and entrepreneur Jared Isaacman to serve as the administrator of NASA. This decision reverses the president's own May withdrawal of Isaacman's nomination and signals a profound shift in the leadership of America's space agency. Isn't that the case? Trump simultaneously praised Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who has acted as NASA's interim chief since July, but announced that the agency's leadership will transition to Isaacman once Senate confirmation is secured. Why this redesignation matters. Isaacman, a veteran of 2 private space flights with SpaceX and a close ally of founder Elon Musk, was first tapped by President Trump in December of 2024. However, his nomination was pulled in May amid questions over past political donations and Musk's influence over the administration. By reinstating him now, President Trump appears to rebalance commercial and governmental dynamics in NASA's mission plans, underscoring the growing role of industry-led innovation in national space strategy. Duffy's departure, interim ends, tensions remain. While Duffy has earned commendations for maintaining NASA's operations during transitional turbulence, this interim role centered around a cost-cut, workforce trimming, and overseeing agency realignment, moves that stirred unrest among space industry veterans. Yes, they did. With Isaacman's renomination, Duffy's tenure ends, and NASA prepares for a new CEO driven by commercial space industry partnerships rather than traditional civil service leadership. Thank goodness. What's next? Senate confirmation and strategic orientation. Isaacman must still clear the Senate. If confirmed, he will oversee NASA's largest display of U.S. space ambition since Apollo. Isn't that the case? Including the return to the moon via the Artemis 3 mission and the evolving infrastructure for Mars. Isaacman's own plan, codenamed Athena, outlines a strategy for high-frequency commercial missions, orbital infrastructure, and a pivot from government-only operations. I mean, if he actually does that, that's exactly what NASA needs, literally exactly to the word. We'll see. What's really going on? This moment signals more than just a change of personnel. It suggests a transfer of power from agency bureaucracy to commercial momentum. Thank goodness. Trump's pivot to Isaacman, after previously rejecting him, highlights political and strategic alignments as the U.S. accelerates pressure to outpace international competitors, particularly China, in the next space race. Absolutely the case. So I think this is I think it's poetic. I think it's fantastic. I think this is exactly what we need to see in America today, yesterday, to be honest. But the point of the matter is we need to move away from this governmental bureaucratic nonsense that is so slow. Everything is just stymied, slowed down, pulled through the mud. Everything takes forever. There is a team of people that work on every single idea on paper through PowerPoint before actually doing anything. And that's one of the things that Elon was saying in that, let's say, public letter the address, the 49 receipts, not the 49 points, but the 49 receipts of everything that we have done, we being SpaceX. And one of the points that he made, which I think was absolutely apropos, is that we do the work. We don't talk about what we are going to do. We actually do it. That's why, as I always said, SpaceX will get something accomplished in 10 months that NASA would take 10 years. Why is that? Bureaucratic government nonsense. It is completely, the problem with it is it is so slow. And as technology has become faster and faster and faster, everyone else in the world is also becoming faster and faster and faster, moving forward in everything that they do. So if we continue down that bureaucratic nightmare, well, we're going to end up being outpaced. That is the bottom line. There's not much more to it. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there saying, listen, Isaacman is like a commercial astronaut guy. He is an entrepreneur. How is he going to be able to handle, a government agency, because that's what it is, of 18,000 people? Can he do it? The way I look at it is like this. He doesn't really need to. There needs to be other people around him that do the heavy lifting when it comes to handling all the people. He needs to be like the Steve Jobs. He needs to be the visionary. He's the one that needs to be able to push things forward, right? When things start getting stuck in the mud, say, look, wait, stop. This needs to go and move ahead, all right? That's what I look at him for. That is his role, to be the lead, to be the leader. He doesn't need to work on the entire 18,000 staff or whatever. There's going to be people to do that. So that was one of the things that I was reading that people were complaining about. Can he handle that government agency? Maybe it just simply doesn't need to be run like a government agency, and it'll be very easy to handle for him because he is an entrepreneur. He runs businesses, right? Who would have thunk it? This Duffy guy, the problem with him is that everyone knew it since day one that there's no way for him to do this job because he was that old SLS Orion guy. He was that guy. So for him to take on the position, it's almost like status quo. It's like going backwards, all right? You want to move forward into tomorrow, not go backwards into 1969 when we were landing on the moon. I mean, it's just to me, it was crazy from day one. And I was going to do a whole video on why Sean Duffy should not be there. And I didn't get to do it because he got shit canned already. So, I mean, I think that this is, once again, amazing because it just shows the power of the private sector. It shows the power not only of Elon Musk and SpaceX, but it just shows how the private sector is by far more important than the government and the government sector, the government agencies. It is. The government is a means of, let's say, shackling the people for X number of years so that they can provide taxes to pay for this massively bloated system. That's what the government is. It's like the king or the queen that you just constantly throwing the money to, right? What they do with it, who the heck knows? They spend it on all kinds of stuff, but you don't know what. And then when you find out some of the stuff they spend it on, you're like, did I just give them money for them to go give 90% of it to that country, but there's people here that could really use it? Did that just happen? You're goddamn skippy, you did. That's exactly the problem. So when it comes to the space agency, it's something similar. What ends up happening is, once again, you end up with this bureaucratic nightmare. All of these hoops that have to be gone through just to get something accomplished. I mean, I talked to you guys about this on a live one day, and I said, Elon Musk actually had to have a massive set of headphones produced to be able to put over an orca's head and allow the orca to listen to like sonic booms and stuff so that they can monitor to see if there was any type of negative effect that happened to the orca. I think it was an orca whale. Might have been a dolphin. Either which way. Can you believe this kind of stuff? And this is the stuff that happens all the time. You end up with fish and wildlife over there at Starbase looking at the fish, making sure there was no fish harm during the ignition of the 33 Raptor engines to get to space. The sonic booms, did it hurt anything? Was there any ferns that were burned? Don't burn the fern. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess. So hopefully, in my opinion, I hope that this guy, Isaacman, can turn things around. I mean, when I look at it, I think that he can. You know, if you look at the bureaucracy, there is a major difference between Duffy's, SLS and Orion type of traditional contracts and all the rest of this stuff in comparison to Isaacman that does that lean, commercial type of contracts like SpaceX or Blue Origin or Axiom or whoever they want to give the contracts to. They're more cutting edge, right? They cut through the red tape. This is the way it is. Perfect example is with Elon Musk, $2.9 billion for this system, the HLS system, right? $2.9 billion. That's it. That's all that we want. It doesn't matter if there's no such thing as an overrun. There's no such thing as a contract plus, which NASA is used to. And that's what all of these other companies are used to. Contract plus overage, contract plus overture, contract plus the moon and the stars, contract plus whatever the hell we want. And this is what ends up happening. You get a $2.9 billion deal or contract with the government, and all of a sudden they're paying $5 billion for it because of all of this type of bureaucratic nonsense contracts. Also, when it comes to government and rockets, remember, Sean Duffy wanted to go back to the Space Launch System. Like I said, the SLS and Orion type of system. Those systems would cost like $4 billion to launch, and it's expendable. Nothing of it is reused. $4 billion, and nothing is reused. Where here we get Isaacman over there that says, listen, he's pushing or leaning towards Elon Musk and SpaceX, where it's full reusability. We launch, it comes back. We catch it. We refurbish it, and we launch it again, and launch it again, and launch it again. I mean, hell, SpaceX has relaunched one of their boosters for the Falcon 9, the ones that bring the SpaceX Starlinks on orbit, 30 times. Do you think they got their money's worth out of that rocket? Compared to the $4 billion just launched up in the air and then it's just gone? I mean, it's just craziness, absolutely craziness. One of the things that we really need to watch here is the disparity between political control and performance metrics, right? Because in the past, it was all about politics, governmental control, yada, 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 and performance was really barely even looked at. I personally believe that with Isaacman in there, as an entrepreneur, as a mission crew chief or commander, let's say, I think he's going to expect measurable results, accountability. He's going to push for faster testing. He's going to push for milestones being met. Everything that we hear Elon Musk doing, this is what I believe Isaacman is going to push for. And the thing is, it's already being done. And that's why what Duffy did, as I said, was just a bad move, man, a bad move. And it literally got him fired within days. Within days. And rightfully so, in my personal opinion. Now, I could be wrong here, all right? Now, I could be wrong. I'm more of a mindset of privatization in comparison to government. I am not a fan of big government. I believe that we, the people, can do a lot, and we don't need the government for much. That's the way I look at things. I could be wrong. Do you personally think that Isaacman is going to be good, or do you think that he'll be bad for this type of situation? Do you think that Duffy would have been better? Old school, SLS, Orion, $4 billion launches to the moon, that type of thing. Do you think that that is a better strategy? What do you think down below? You know my thoughts on this. But once again, more importantly, is your thoughts down below. And as I said before, if you don't want to put anything down there, please put an emoji so at least I know that you got to the end of the video. I appreciate that. That helps out a lot. And if you would be so kind, let your friends, family, colleagues, Reddit, Facebook, wherever you traverse the web, let them know about the channel. Let them know about this video and past videos. There's about 1,600 videos on this channel. There's a lot of information, and hopefully you find some of it of interest and value. If you did, if you enjoyed this video, throw it a thumbs up. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, hopefully through SpaceX Starlink, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you guys.